Hi, this is Gary from Texas, Zone 8B, up here near Beaumont, and supposed to get down to the mid 30s tonight. Supposed to get down to about 30, 31 degrees tomorrow night, and about 30 something, mid 30s the next night. Anything below 32 degrees can cause you to have a frost if you don't have any wind and clear skies. Now right now, we have winds, but we have totally clear skies. So if you notice, we got a fair amount. I don't know if you can see them very well. I go over here. We got a fair amount of tomatoes. None of them are really close to ripening yet. But you know, given it another month, I think they'd make it. And one thing about Texas weather is we have a cold snap. It's been back in the 80s next week. So I'm going to try to cover this up with some of this landscape fabric. At least make landscape fabric worth something, and see how it works. Be back in a minute. Okay, here we go, guys. I get down there, gonna take it over the top, cover it up, try to keep it off the tomato. Steven, you're not doing no good right there. Get in the middle.
You just told me you would go.
Up, about halfway over. Stop. Stay where you at. Pull it on. Hold on, I couldn't even get close up. Come on, man. And I may get some more and go back this way with it. We'll see how this works. I don't know if it'll work or not. Anyway, thanks. Okay, I do have it on both sides thrown over. We'll see how this goes. Ideally, you want to go all the way to the ground, but honestly, I'm just trying to keep the frost off of it. If it gets below freezing, if it gets down to 30 degrees, I think they're toast, but at least it's worth a try and see if it works. Okay, I'm going to show you a little bit what happened last night. It got down about 36 degrees, and kind of seeing kind of the damage that was suffered. And also, you know, the beans are just now starting to bloom. The watermelons took a harder hit than the beans did. You know, tonight's going to wipe them out, so I know that. But just kind of wanted to show you that even though it's only got, you know, my car, when I got up this morning, I start leaving about daybreak, and it got down, it was anywhere from 40 when I left the house down to about 36, so probably out here it was probably closer to 36, 37 degrees. You can still get freeze damage done by that, and just kind of want to show you that. Notice all the grass and the weeds seem to be fine, but anyway, just kind of showing what it looks like tonight. Tonight would be the night that okay, this is now Saturday. It's been a couple of days after the freeze. I just got back in. My son was taking care of everything. So I'm going to kind of show you, we got down on Wednesday morning down to about, it showed 33 degrees on my car when I backed out. When I drove down the road, it showed 30. On the internet, it was showing 27, but I think that was wrong because everybody else around there was a lot higher. So I know we got right about in the 30 to 32 degree range, I'm thinking. And also had a little bit of frost with it. First thing off on potatoes, it knocked about halfway back. You know, this in here is not hit at all, and you can kind of see some weird stuff kind of like that. Over here is Okinawa spinach. Some of it hit, and you'll see this a lot. One of them get hit like this, but usually the lower they go, it provides a little bit of a shield. You won't see as much of a freeze damage on that. But ironically, this one down here suffered a lot more damage. Now I can't tell you why. Things are weird. It's the freeze damage. Even freeze damage, when it gets really cold, would be strange. This here is the ginger. These here got hit pretty hard. And these here doesn't show hardly any effects at all. And then right over here, this one shows bad. Again, it doesn't always make a lot of sense. This, you'll notice this side got freeze damage, this side didn't get freeze damage. So over here, this one we brought in the garage, but it didn't suffer anything. Same thing with the herbs here. This basil didn't get any damage, and it's just, 15 feet away. That wasn't in the ground. The thing I thought was interesting, now I did have, it's got a little bit of damage, you can see. I had this 5-gallon bucket over here and got no damage at all on this pepper. And for this pepper, if it's springtime, that one got zapped pretty hard. But it does show that, a 5-gallon bucket, no hose in it, throwing over. If it's close on freezing, they'll give you some protection. But, if you're looking at it, if you're going to get down really cold temperatures, it gets down in the 20s, that 5-gallon bucket won't help you any. It's just not big enough to give out the heat. Because what you're trying to do is get heat from the ground to warm things up. This is the surprising thing for me. That's a tomato plant. It didn't get any damage. I know it didn't get any damage at all. I don't know why. I mean, we're not that far away. But anyway, let's go look at the tomatoes we covered. So hopefully they'll look okay. Okay, on the tomatoes, didn't fare as well as I'd hoped, but they're still blooming. That end down there didn't get covered up because you had the tree in the way as far as all the way to the ground. So this end was warmer, I think, than the further down you got. You still see some tomatoes here. These peppers will do okay. That there is a ground cherry. That's just a native ground cherry that came up. This tomato here, it's toast. But the other tomatoes look okay. So they're okay. We'll see if they can jump out of it and recover. The peppers are toast here. My big pepper, it didn't make it at all. I mean, it's done. So we're going to continue on, and then I'll tell you why I think this here didn't fare quite as much as over toward the yard. A little off topic, but here's where we had our 3 rows of sweet potatoes. My son dug them up. We got 1 5-gallon bucket of sweet potatoes out of there. So, we didn't get many sweet potatoes this year, but I was kind of expecting that. But to go look at the freeze damage, here, total loss on the beans. And over here, killed all the peas. But one thing I want to show you is all of our weeds out there. They're all dead too. Now here's what I think happened. You'll notice we stepped off probably elevation 2 feet, which out here is a lot. And I think what happened, up close to the house, you got some heating from the house coming off of it. You're also a little bit higher up. So you may be, I say 2 foot, you may be 3 or 4 foot deeper. So what happens when you get that cold air will kind of move and it'll come off and it'll settle down in this little bit lower area. And so if you're going to be putting in an orchard or a garden, that's one thing to consider. If you got an area that's lower, that's where that cold air is going to go. It's going to sink and it's going to move to that direction. And I think that's kind of what happened. The further closer to the house we got, the higher elevation we got, and we was right at the edge of everything getting cold. So everything, from the garden area, well, that'd actually be north. Garden area north, there's no winds, so it didn't really matter as far as being north. But that got a degree or 2 colder, and that's all that it took. And even when I say we started at 33 at the house, when I drove on down, that's also a lower area, and it dropped 3 degrees from the house to the 720 County Road 721. But anyway, because that's a low area that floods. So that's kind of what happens. So if you're going to be putting in a garden and you're worried about freeze damage, try to put one that's a little bit higher up if you can. A lot of times you don't have a choice with that. If you got a 5-gallon bucket or something to cover it, that does help. You want to get all the way to the ground so you can get the heat from the, you're just looking for a degree or two difference. And I'm talking fast again. But anyway, hope you enjoy the video and at least see kind of what happens when you get really close and how different things happen up with the freeze damage.